How do you find your photos around Lightroom CC? One thing that I don't like about Lightroom CC is basically if you don't do albums, it's going to become very hard to find the photos because, remember when we imported these photos, we created an album called tutorial and all the photos are there. And most of my photography that I have in this, basically I have it in different albums, okay? So this is all albums. And the other thing you can do is you can also create folders. So that's kind of cool. For example, I created a folder called portfolio, and a folder basically is like it's like a folder like on your hard drive, and it has different albums, and you can put folders into folders. I believe I can create a folder, and let's see here. If I'm not sure if I'm in portfolio and I create a folder, and I'm going to create temp and create a folder. Yeah, it does. You see, it adds a folder within the folder. Okay. And then you can create albums. So basically, folder is something they added a few months ago to organize things better. And so I created a folder called Portfolio where I got all my best work into it, and that is connected to website. That's for a later video. You will see it's kind of cool. You can run your whole show, your whole website, basically using different collections here. Albums. Collections is the name that's on Lightroom Classic, and album is here. So basically, when you import photos, I advise you to make an album. Now, let's say you imported some photos and you didn't make an album. How do you find these photos? Well, you can go two different ways about it. You can go by dates, or you can go by people. You can click on people, and basically you can click on somebody's photo. Like I can go on Duncan and I can find all the photos of Duncan. And so people is a good way to do it. Basically, but date and people, and all photos. You can also press Command F and type a keyword. Like if I can type, for example, C, and I will have all the photos which have some kind of C into it. It's basically based onto intelligence, or if the word C is into the file name, it's going to come. But because there's no file structure, let me show you in Lightroom Classic what I mean. So for example, here I'm in Barcelona. Okay, that's my Barcelona folder. And per day, I have a folder of all the photos I shoot in Barcelona, and it's on my hard drive. That's how I like to think. I was in May in Italy, so I got all my Florence and all my Imperia and all my Menton photos, per folder. Now, Lightroom CC, if you don't make an album, you are in trouble because you're going to have to either remember by people or by date, which is hard. Or you can go by metadata, meaning you click on all photos and you can go by camera and try to remember which camera you used, or locations. You can go by locations also, which is kind of cool because any photo with this GPS tag is going to find it, or by synchronized status. But honestly, I think it makes it really hard to find photos which are not into an album because, you don't necessarily have some people there. You don't necessarily remember what camera you used, what date it was. And that's the thing. So you have to create folders. So, I would create like a folder for example, let's say you're doing interior design. So you have like hotels. You create a folder called hotels. And then for every hotel that you shoot, you have like an album. And then, so you just have to reorganize your whole structure with folders and albums in Lightroom CC, which I naturally do in Lightroom Classic with my hard drive. But because this is everything in the cloud, you have to think over it. So that's how you find your photos in Lightroom CC. It's the main reason why I don't use it. But if you're just starting in photography, you don't have that much photo yet, it's a great way to work because your photos are accessible from your mobile. And if you're well organized with your galleries, you will find your photos in minutes, which is really cool, I think.